Right now, as you're watching this, your brain is lying to you. It's filtering reality, distorting your memories, and making decisions you think are yours, but they're not. And the scariest part? You'll never notice it happening. Today, I'm going to show you psychology facts that are so accurate about you. You'll feel like someone's been reading your mind. Let's begin. Fact number 1. Nobody is thinking about you as much as you think they are. You tripped in public last week. You said something awkward at dinner, and you've been replaying it in your head ever since. But here's the truth. Nobody else remembers. This is called the spotlight effect. Psychologist Thomas Gilovich at Cornell University ran a fascinating experiment. He asked students to wear an embarrassing t-shirt, a giant picture of Barry Manilow on it, and walk into a room full of people. The students wearing the shirt believed that at least 50% of the room noticed it. The actual number? Less than 25%. We dramatically overestimate how much other people pay attention to us. Everyone is too busy worrying about themselves to judge you. So that embarrassing thing you did 3 years ago? I promise you, you're the only one who still remembers it. Fact number 2. Silence is more powerful than words, and your brain knows it. When someone stops talking during an argument, most people panic. They start filling the silence with words, explanations, even confessions. And that's exactly what the other person wants. FBI negotiators use this technique every day. It's called the strategic use of silence. Former FBI lead negotiator Chris Voss explains that when you go silent after asking a question, the other person feels psychological pressure to fill the gap. Here's what's fascinating. A study from the University of Groningen found that even a 4-second silence during a conversation makes people feel anxious and rejected. For seconds, that's all it takes to shift the power in any conversation. Next time you're negotiating, try it. Ask your question, then say nothing. You'll be amazed at what people reveal. Fact number 3. You don't remember experiences. You remember endings. Think about your last vacation. You probably remember the best moment and the last day, but almost nothing in between. That's not a coincidence. That's the peak end rule. Nobel Prize winner Daniel Kahneman proved this with a brutal experiment. Participants put their hands in painfully cold water for 60 seconds. Then they did it again for 90 seconds, but in the last 30 seconds, the water was slightly warmer. When asked which trial they'd repeat, most people chose the 90-second trial. They chose more pain because the ending felt slightly better. This changes everything about how you should think about your life. A perfect date with a bad goodbye will feel like a bad date. A terrible vacation with an amazing last day will feel like a great trip. People don't remember what happened. They remember how it ended. Fact number 4. Making mistakes actually makes you more attractive. This sounds wrong, but Harvard psychologist Elliot Aronson proved it in 1966. He had participants listen to recordings of people answering quiz questions. One person answered almost everything correctly, then spilled coffee on themselves. The result? People rated the coffee spiller as more likable than the person who was perfect. This is called the Pratfall effect. When competent people show small flaws, they become more relatable, more human, more trustworthy. But here's the catch. It only works if you're already seen as competent. If you're already struggling, mistakes don't help. So if you're good at what you do, don't hide your imperfections. They're actually your secret weapon. Fact number 5. The easiest way to get a yes is to start with an impossible request. Imagine I asked you to volunteer 10 hours every week at a community center. You'd say no. But then I ask, okay, how about just 2 hours this Saturday? Suddenly, 2 hours sounds reasonable. And you say yes. Psychologist Robert Cialdini calls this the door-in-the-face technique. In his study, only 17% of people agreed to the small request when asked directly. But when he asked the big request first, then followed with the small one, the success rate jumped to 50%. Why? Because your brain treats the second request as a concession. The other person compromised, so you feel obligated to compromise too. Salespeople, negotiators, even your friends use this on you all the time. Now that you know, you'll start noticing it everywhere. Fact number 6. You don't actually like what you think you like. You like what's familiar. In the 1960s, psychologist Robert Zajonc showed people random Chinese characters. Some characters appeared once. Others appeared 20 times. Then he asked people which characters they liked more. Every single time, people preferred the characters they'd seen more often. even though they had no idea what any of them meant. This is the mere exposure effect. Your brain confuses familiarity with preference. The more you see something, the more you like it. This is why you eventually like a song you hated after hearing it 10 times. It's why advertisers show you the same ad over and over. And it's why you feel drawn to people you see regularly, even if you've never spoken to them. You think you have free will in your preferences, but most of the time, you just like what you've been exposed to the most. Fact number 7, and this one might be the most important. People will forget what you said, but they will never forget how you made them feel. This isn't just a quote. It's backed by science. Research from the University of Michigan shows that emotional memories are stored differently than factual memories. Your brain prioritizes feelings over information. You probably don't remember the exact words from your best conversation last month, but you remember the warmth, the laughter, the connection. And that's the real lesson behind all of these psychology facts. Understanding how the human mind works isn't about manipulation. It's about connection. Which of these facts hit closest to home for you? Tell me in the comments. I read every single one. And if you want more psychology facts that actually change how you see the world, subscribe and hit the bell. I'll see you in the next one.